welcome to Shah Alam, the state capital of Selangor, for the Celcom Axiata Malaysia Open. We're at Stadium Malawati for second round action this evening. Now, this event is the third of the 12 tournaments that make up the MetLife BWF World Superseries. Not only the third event, but also the second of the 5 premier events, an even higher tier of tournament within the Super Series. And of course, as you can see, at the end of the year, we have the Super Series finals, and the destination once again is Dubai. The Super Series finals is just for the top 8 players and pairs in each of the 5 disciplines. And of course, the players qualify only from the 12 Super Series events. Now, we've had the Super Series finals in Dubai for the last 2 years, and my goodness, hasn't it been a popular event? It's one of the tournaments all the players want to win, and they're all keen to qualify again this year. Well, second round action today, as I say, and we've got 5 matches for you this evening. We're starting with mixed doubles, and Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels of Germany up against the former world champions Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Nasir. Then men's singles, and a man who was promoted from the qualifying, Tanonsak Sengsumbunsak of Thailand, up against Victor Axelsen, the man who was beaten in the Super Series in Delhi last week. Then a second men's singles, and the former world number 4, Song Wan Ho, up against the current world number 4, Lee Chong Wei, the home player who has won this event an incredible 10 times. Then we turn to women's singles, and Bae Yoon Ju, who was beaten finalist here 6 years ago. She's up against the former world number 1, Saina Nehwal. Then we turn to men's doubles, and current world number 1s Lee Yong Dae and Yu Young Sung, beaten finalists last year, up against Gulvi Shem and Tan Wee Keong of Malaysia, the pair that stand top of the Super Series standings at the moment. So what a terrific lineup we've got for you this evening. The court officials on court for the first of our matches. It's mixed doubles. Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels of Germany up against the number 2 seeds Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Nasir. Well, of course, with the 2 pairs obviously fighting for Olympic qualification, I think probably the number 2 seeds are safe in their Olympic qualification. And obviously, with them being the number 2 seeds, this is the bottom quarter of the draw. And you can see that the next quarter, well, that's already been concluded. And I can tell you that the number 7 seeds, Chris and Gabby Adcock, the married couple, they're safely through to the quarterfinal stage as well. So the winner of this match will play against Mr. and Mrs. Adcock. So here come the German pair of Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels, both in their 30s now. And one would guess that the Olympic Games, should they qualify, may be their swan song. So to the former world champions, the number 2 seeds Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Nasir. Of course, Liliana Nasir is a former champion here. Winner in 2009 with Nova Widianto. Beat Lee Yong Dae and Lee Ho Jung in the final those 7 years ago. Well, I'm Jill Clark, delighted to say that sitting alongside me is former Danish head coach Steen Pedersen. And Steen, I mean, this is a match, I think the Germans, if they do want to really try and secure their Olympic qualification, this is a match they really must win.
Yeah, and I mean, they've been playing a whole lot of tournaments over the world here, and it's on these big occasions that you really need to make a mark for yourself if you want to qualify for the Olympics. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they can do today.
Yes, and of course, I mean, they've been in 3 Super Series tournaments finals previously. The last, you have to go back to 2014, so over a year ago. But they're a pair that I think in recent times, because of injury problems, have had fluctuating form. But it's good to see them back and playing well, as they were indeed yesterday. So there is Michael Fuchs, 33 years of age. He'll turn 34 later this month. They are actually gone up one place today in the world rankings, gone up to 16. Have been as high as 6, as you can see, 1 week at the beginning of December in 2010. Now, they've never been beyond the last 16 of this tournament. There, Birgit Michels, 31 years of age. Some people may remember her under her maiden name of Birgit Overseer. Born in Cologne, now lives in Bonn. And she's a tall athlete, as you can see. That's about 5'10". And as far as the German pair are concerned, well, they were really cruising yesterday. I thought they played very well indeed against the American pair of Philip Chu and Jamie Subandi. Yes, 12 and 10 in just 27 minutes. So yes, they were playing well. This will be a much, much tougher test for them here today, though, against the number 2 seeds, Tontowi Ahmad. There he is, the 28-year-old from Banyumas in the southwest of central Java. They're number 2 at the moment, and that's the highest they've ever been. But this, I think, is their 6th spell as world number 2s. So very experienced. 3 times semi-finalists as a pair here, 2012, 2014 and 2015. And yesterday in their first match, as we look at Liliana Nasir, 30 years of age, born in Manado in North Sulawesi. 3 times world champion, once with her partner of today, twice, of course, with Nova Widianto, with whom she was former world number 1. Well, yesterday they beat Wang Yilu and Chen Qingchen in 2 straight games, so that's pretty comfortable as well. So there our umpire is Christian Johannesson of Denmark. Chris Yip of Hong Kong is our service judge. Now this will actually be the 7th meeting between these 2 pairs. Of the previous 6 encounters, it is the Indonesians who have won on 4 occasions. But I can tell you, the last time they met, it was the Germans that won. And it was in the first round of the China Super Series, the last of the premier events last year. Won in 2 straight games, 21-19, 22-20.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Liliana Natsir, Tontowi Ahmad, Indonesia. On my left, Birgit Michels, Michael Fuchs, Germany. Michael Fuchs to serve to Liliana Natsir. Love all. Play.
So Michael Fuchs will get this 2nd round match underway. My goodness, that was a quick flick serve, wasn't it?
1 love.
Well, interestingly, the Germans not only won that last encounter, they won the first encounter as well. But Steen, I hope I'm not being a little harsh. I thought at the end of last year, perhaps the beginning of this year, that the Indonesian pair were just below their normal, very high standards. I think recent form, they've struggled a little.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think they have struggled, and you were mentioning that they were pretty sure of Olympic qualification, and I think you're right, provided that the other pair from Indonesia, the All England champions, Praveen Jordan and Debbie Susanto, makes it to top 8, so that Indonesia will get 2 pairs into the Olympics. Otherwise, they will have to choose between those 2 pairs, and that's going to be a tough task.
Yeah. What a good point.
2-all.
Of course, just to clarify exactly what Steen has said there, in the doubles for the Olympic qualification, it's only the top 16. Oh, service fault called.
Service over.
Racket not pointing in a downward direction, says Chris Yip.
3-2.
Yes, just to clarify that, to get 2 pairs from any one nation, both pairs have to be inside the top 8 in the world. In the singles, to get 2 players in Olympic qualification, they both have to be in the top 16 in the world. So obviously harder in the doubles. Get 2 pairs qualified. Oh, that's good defence. Good rally.
4-2. Change the shot. Service over.
Well, I was reading in the newspapers, Steen, that this Indonesian pair were saying they were very happy that Praveen Jordan and Debbie Susanto were playing well and had won the All England. They said it was sharing the burden of expectation that they have carried for so long as the top Indonesian mixed doubles pair. But, you know, I'm a great believer that a bit of healthy rivalry within the same country will spur both pairs on.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's no doubt that there's rivalry between these 2 pairs, and what they tell the newspapers, I'm sure it's absolutely correct. As they should just add, as long as they still keep losing to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of course you want to be the #1 choice of your country.
Yeah.
6-3.
Yeah, they're pushing Birgit Michels back from the net, making her defend. Oh, service fault called.
Service over.
Struck above the waist.
4-6.
Oh, that's a good smash. Well, when he's taking it early, he's impressive, isn't he?
Yeah.
7-4.
So lethal from playing above the tape, playing overhand shots. Very, very good, Tantowi Ahmad.
Yeah, it really was perfect placement too, not only the athletic ability. Oh, that's a good serve.
8-4.
Yeah, she's trying to make her way forward, Michels. Oh, that is a terrific rally. My goodness me. Well, the other thing that Liliana Nasir was saying in the newspapers was they're in much better form. They've been training really hard. And I think in these early stages, I concur, they look sharp.
Yeah, they're off to a very good start. And that's definitely not what you wanted to give them if you're the German pair. You would love to get a head start on them.
Service over.
Well, you should never underestimate this German pair.
9.
They've had some terrific results, those 3 Super Series tournament finals.
In my opinion, they're the perfect example of how good you can get when you play together, when you have a good plan, when you play conceptual
Service
badminton.
over. 10-5.
Yeah, She's got wonderful control at the front of the court, Liliana Nasia. Oh, that was going wide, wasn't it? Yeah, they got away with it. Just explain a little bit more about what you mean about conceptual badminton.
Yeah. I think they have a really good game plan for what they want to do, or perhaps not a game plan, but a strategy, an overall strategy for how they want to play mixed doubles, Fuchs and Michels, and they stick to it. So they sort of make the best of their skills. They're perhaps individually they're not as skillful, in my opinion, as their opponents, but as a pair they do well.
Yeah, so they really work for each other and play to each other's strengths. Yeah, I can understand that. I see that. So it is the Indonesians, though, who have the advantage at the mid-game interval, a 5-point advantage. Richard Manaki, mixed doubles coach.
The German coach Holger Hasse in blue.
20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
And is that Wang Shuyun?
I think so, but I'm not really sure of the Chinese coach. But he's been with the German team for many, many years.
Yeah. Yeah, there they are.
And Hasse has resigned after this year here.
After the Olympics?
Yeah, I think maybe towards the end of the year. And Detlef Foster will take over again, the former national coach, who was the German word is Geschäftsführer for the German Association. He's coming back as a national coach, so that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
11-6. Play.
Oh. Well, a little bit of luck there for Liliana Nasia. No, she does create her own luck, doesn't she? Look how she's anticipated that. She was already ready to play the shot before it was coming to her.
I simply love that. The proactiveness of the racket movement. A number of players, they don't move their racket back, so if they are to intercept, they have to move it back first and then forward, and that makes you a little bit unconscious, or your unconsciousness sort of changes the way you judge whether you can reach the shuttle or not. She has a very, very short swing, so she can reach a lot more shuttles.
Yeah.
7-13.
On court 3, men's doubles.
Yeah, there she is again. Racket arm outstretched, taking the net shot early. Getting the control. Yeah, look at it. It's fabulous, isn't it? Oh, that's a couple of easy smashes he's missed.
There's very drifty conditions in this hole here in Shah Alam. And if you're not in really good balance, if you're a little bit hesitating, then you're prone to make mistakes, because the drift simply carries the shuttle a little bit off compared to what you're used to.
Oh, clever. Clever direction of the smash. Yeah, I was just reading in the newspapers, and we were down here yesterday, weren't we, Steen, talking to some of the players, and they were all saying how drifty it is in this stadium.
Yeah, they specifically mentioned court 4, and lucky for both players and the audience, court 4 is no longer there today. We only play on 3 courts, so court 1 and 2 were more reasonable, more predictable in the wind conditions.
Oh. Well, there you go. I don't know if you could hear that, but Michael Fuchs was saying, look, there's condensation from the roof. The water is dripping down onto the court, and he said it's not us that's the problem, the players. It's not perspiration from us, it's coming from the roof. Now, that was a problem the other day. They had to suspend play on one court, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a really heavy thunderstorm here, and there were apparently some leaks in the roof over the same court 4 that is no longer there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great placement again. Across the body. She's trying to defend with the forehand action. As I think she's probably right to try and do, because it does take an exceptional shot to aim towards that left hip when she's on the cross court. But the problem is, Tontowi Ahmad has been hitting exceptional shots. Yeah, getting caught on her defence, I think, as far as Birgit Michels is concerned. Got to try and get herself forward, and I know that's much, much easier said than done, because at the moment, Liliana Nasir is in control, and her partner's taking it early at the back, hitting it down. How do you convert that then into getting Michels forward? It's a tricky one. So game points have arrived. Really raced away in the second half of this opening game. Number 2 seeds.
Service over. Ten, 20. Out. Game.
Well, opening game, 21-10, very comfortable for the number 2 seeds. A little over 14 minutes of play. Service error from Fuchs. And their confirmation, 21-10. Oh, Holger Hase giving his advice. Steen, what would your advice be?
Well, I think I would try to put Liliana Nasir to the backcourt, flick serve her a bit more, and now they're playing up against the drift, the German pairs, so they have a better chance of doing that. In the first game, if they try to flick her too much and play the backcourt, there's a big chance that it would have gone long. And then try to keep everything downwards below the tape. Try to take Natsia out of the game and make the court big for Tontobi Amat.
Yeah. Sound advice. Well, as I said a little earlier, often the theory is good, putting it into practice is really quite tricky.
20 seconds.
But I can tell you, Mikkel Fuchs is a highly intelligent man, and so is his partner. Fuchs doing a PhD at the moment into sleep. Sleep and recovery, sleep deprivation. And I think Mikkel's trained as a pediatric nurse, isn't she? So she's a highly intelligent person as well. So they can use their intelligence. So you were alluding to that earlier, Steen, about how clever they are in the way they play, and that they've made the most of their talents. And there's very few players, I think, in any sports, really, that can say that.
And I think I'll have to speak to Michael Fuchs about this sleep deprivation, because I definitely have some kind of jet lag here coming to Malaysia.
Oh, it's a good serve again.
2-1.
Of course, it seems like a big mistake from Fuchs here, but he simply needs to play sharp on the service returns. Otherwise, the Indonesians will get the initiative like here, and they have a. He's frustrated.
Yeah. Oh, low service short. Service error from Tontobi Ahmad. Yeah, just got deflected by the top of the tape, didn't it? Took a bit of pace out of the shot. Oh, no, that's better from Mikkels.
Service over.
Pushes it a little too much there. It's to the advantage of the German if he could block that a little bit and get it below the tape. But they're covering the court well, the Indonesians.
5-2. Service over. 3-5. Service over.
Oh. This is the problem, isn't it, Steen? She's so good, Liliana Nasir, that all the good intentions of taking her on at the nets, I mean, it's just so difficult.
It is, and normally Birgit Michels is a very good net player herself, but she's just losing to Liliana Nasir at the moment, and the Germans, they have to change that if they are to have a chance of making a comeback in this match.
Yeah. Well, already 4 points adrift in this second game.
8-3.
Yeah. I didn't think it was such a shabby return of serve. I thought he was trying to put pressure on, but my goodness, Ahmad was good there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Saw that early, took it early, drove it back.
And the tricky thing is that it has to have enough speed, the service return, to get past Liliana Nasir, but not so much speed that Ahmad can make use of it. And that's really, really difficult when you also take into consideration that there's a little bit drift against the Germans here. Oh.
5-8.
As I remember, Birgit Michels, she had struggled with her short service on a number of occasions,
Yes.
but it seems to be fixed. But right here, it's actually not to their advantage, because I think it would be better to flick Liliana. She's where she is comfortable, even though she makes a mistake there. It doesn't matter that much because she makes so many winners, so she's allowed to make a few mistakes as well.
Oh, service fault called. Racket not pointing in a downward direction. Now I make that her second service fault.
And that might explain why there's not too many flick serves. Well, it's very, very hard to for the human eye to really make a good judgment of that, because things happen so quickly. And
Yeah.
I wonder if we had a super slow or frame by frame, if the verdict from the service judge would be the same. That's brilliant.
11-6.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Just seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Time and time again. And she has this awareness. It's not just her being in the right place. Where to place the shuttle, where the
Yes.
gaps are.
Yes, exactly. And what are the possibilities from the opponents? That ability to read the game is so important in the doubles department.
Yeah.
In the singles as well, but I mean, in the doubles, things happen a little bit quickly.
Yeah.
Court 1, 20
And of course, with
seconds.
two opponents on the other side, there's less gaps. So you've got to be more
Yeah.
aware of
Yeah.
where to place it and exactly where the gaps are. Now, I don't know whether you heard that, but there was a big clatter of thunder above.
It's a good thing Court 4 is out of use today, I think.
Yeah, we're not used to rain-stopping play,
No,
are we,
no.
in badminton?
But coming back to these game-reading abilities, I'm from an age where Michel Platini wasn't a politician, football politician, but he was a football player, and he said, well, I'm not the fastest and I'm not the strongest, but I know a little bit before everyone else what is going to happen or what is
Yeah.
likely to happen. And I think that's the same skill Liliana Natsir has got in the mixed doubles.
Yeah. So the German pair are going to need to try and close down this 5-point advantage and close it down quickly if they want to get through this. It's gone wide.
12-6.
They just seem half a pace behind the Indonesians at the moment, always on the back foot.
13-6.
Good variation of service there from Natsir.
That's clever as well. This time from Tontowi Ahmad. But again, it's awareness.
Yeah.
Where exactly is the gap? Okay. Towards the left shoulder.
Left shoulder, yeah.
Yep.
And not with full speed, because had he hit it full speed, probably would have gone long.
Service
Oh,
over.
a rare error from Liliana Natsir.
14.
And she's angry with herself.
Yeah. I think that's her first service error of the match, isn't it?
And that's also a true mark of the elite players, that, I mean, even though they don't make that many mistakes, when they make one and it's unnecessary, they get angry with themselves.
Yeah. Trait of a champion, never satisfied. Always wants to play better.
14. Service over.
You see that return of serve? I mean, it may look as if it's a nothing shot, but it's very clever. It's just guided in a downward direction, just with enough pace that Michels has got to take it instead of in front of her, at the side of her.
Yeah. And I have to say that for most of the mixed doubles pairs in this tournament, if they get Liliana Natsir started at the net, they're going to lose the match. I don't think there's more than a couple of players perhaps that can match her on the front court.
Yeah.
And then she creates the opportunities, and Tontowi Amat capitalizes on them, from them.
Gone way long.
Service over.
Yeah, he knows about that's the frustration. He knows about the drift.
16-9.
Oh yes, that's nice.
Service over.
I just talked to
16.
a couple of Danes before we went on air here, and they say that, yeah, there's so much drift in this hole, and the only reason that it doesn't look bad is that we adjust our game. We don't play according to the opponents, we play according to the wind conditions. It really doesn't matter who the opponents are, you have to play in a certain way.
Yeah.
17-10.
Just wide.
18-10.
It's very interesting. We played a whole match without any challenge, without any close line call whatsoever.
Because of course the challenge system is in place here. He can't see the shuttle as she's about to serve. Yeah, and the receiver is entitled to see the serve being struck, because otherwise they don't know when to move.
We discussed that earlier, and I haven't checked up on it. I'm not really sure it's mentioned anywhere. I think it should be mentioned. We know that in table tennis it's not allowed to conceal the ball.
18.
You have to have an open, flat hand, but I'm not sure whether it's in the badminton rules.
Law 9.5
Out. Service over.
on the service laws.
19.
In doubles, during the delivery of the service, the partner may take up positions within their respective courts which do not unsight the opposing server or receiver.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I wasn't aware of that. I knew I could rely on you, Joe.
19.
That's good to hear, because I've been coaching a number of times where Jens Eriksen, the former Danish great, had been complaining about exactly that issue.
The court's going to need to be mopped. Need something dramatic to happen here for the Germans to win this. Indonesians just 2 points away from the quarter-final.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps a thunderstorm and a leaking roof is their only hope. We've seen that in tennis sometimes when matches are delayed due to the weather conditions. It suddenly changes the momentum of the game.
Tim Henman, Wimbledon semi-final against,
Service ball call.
oh, I can't remember his name. He ended up winning as a wild card. Left-handed.
20, match point 13.
3 days the match took. Rain delays. I think Henman was 2 sets to love up. Goran Ivanisevic. How
Oh.
can I forget him? There we go. Just remember, just in time before this match concludes. Oh, that's well taken.
20.
It's going to land in. Yeah, and look how short it was. Oh, there's a challenge. Isn't there?
Michael Fox challenges. Ball in.
It's a mile in. Well, he just wanted to make sure Hawkeye was awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bit cheeky, isn't it? Yes, he's got a wry smile on his face. He's saying, I might as well check. There we go. Yeah.
Game.
So the Indonesians, yeah, that's a nice little touch from Fuchs. Just a little pat on the back as if to say, yes, don't worry, didn't really think it was out.
21-15.
So the umpire confirms 21-10, 21-15. 33 minutes. And the number 2 seeds are through to the quarter-final. Confirmation of that. And they will play against Chris and Gabby Adcock in tomorrow's quarter-final. So our next match is men's singles, and we're going to show both of the men's singles from the bottom quarter of the draw. We're going to start with the man promoted from the qualifying, Sensum Boonsak of Thailand up against Victor Axelsen, and then after that we will have the 10-time former champion Lee Chong Wei against Song Wan Ho. You can see that the European champion Jano Jorgensen already safely through to the quarterfinal. I can tell you that Lindan, the two-time Olympic champion against Boonsak Ponsana, well, Lindan has won the first game, 21-15, and he's 11-5 up in the second. So the men's singles, Tanonsak Sensum Boonsak of Thailand up against Victor Axelsen, the number 6 seed from Denmark. Well, the left-hander who thought he was going to have to play the qualifying.
Victor Axelsen, Denmark.
But because of withdrawals of some players in the main draw, he was promoted from the qualifying draw. And here his opponent, Victor Axelsen, the number 6 seed, the man who last week in Delhi, in the final of the India Super Series, was beaten by Kento Momota. So, Johan de Klerk of South Africa. Oh, now that's interesting. He did that last week, actually, did Victor Axelsen. I think it's very sensible. There's always a drift in any stadium. Not necessarily as pronounced as it is here, but there is always a drift. And wisely, having won the toss, Victor Axelsen chooses which end he wishes to start. This man, the left-hander, he's 25 years of age, gone up 3 places in the world ranking that was published earlier today to 27, has been in the top 10, has been as high as 9, as you can see, 2 weeks from the 31st of October 2013. He's a former quarter-finalist here, reached the quarter-final in 2010, lost out to Dane Peter Geder, and he, in the very first match, had to save a game point at 19-20 down in that second game against Lee Dong-kyung of Korea. So to Victor Axelsen, the number 6 seed, he's number 6 in the world. He has been 1 place higher. This his 5th consecutive appearance here at the Malaysian Open, and it's the first time that he's got through the first round. The man born in Odense. So for Victor Axelsen, well, that final last week, I wonder if that's taken its physical toll. He did struggle yesterday against another left-hander, Sho Sasaki, dropping the second game, as you can see, to 15, but coming through 21-12 in 50 minutes in the decider. Now, this is the first meeting between these 2 players.
Denmark. And on my left, Thailand.
So the introductions, yes, did you have your microphone on? Oh, maybe we just can't hear him very well.
No.
But lovely to see female service judge from Iran. Now, this is another player that shouldn't be underestimated. Tanonsak Sensum Boonsak.
Yeah, exactly. And I've seen him on a number of occasions play really well in windy conditions.
Really?
Strong attacking player, very light-footed.
Yeah.
Which is also important because you can keep your balance in the drifty conditions and better control your shots. So much for that.
The curse of the commentator.
I hope they find that shuttle again.
Well, just to let you know how good he has been, apart from being in the world's top 10 previously, he was semi-finalist at the All England Championships 3 years ago, having come through the qualifying. 2013 was a very good year for him because he also won gold at the Southeast Asian Games in Myanmar. Beat Rumbaka in the final. First Thai player for 38 years to win gold in the men's singles at the Southeast Asian Games. What has happened to Rumbaka?
He went through some serious surgery, I remember reading. I'm not really sure what it was. I believe it was his knee, but definitely out with injury.
We do wish him well.
He might have come back and playing. I'm not sure about that, but he would definitely have to play smaller tournaments.
Yeah, because ranking
work his
drop.
way up. Yeah. It's a little bit of a difficult situation, especially for the singles players, because they don't have the benefit of any notional ranking as we have in the doubles, and I think that's a disadvantage if you suffer an injury.
So do you think that Badminton BWF ought to introduce a similar system to tennis, where if you've been very highly ranked and you've been out with serious injury, you somehow maintain some sort of status to get into the top tournaments?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of system would work for badminton, but I think it might be a good idea to look into.
Yeah, I agree.
The question is, of course, how do you avoid it being exploited?
Yeah.
That's a good rally from both players here.
6-3.
Good deception.
Yeah. Look how short that was. Well, one of your players was telling you, I say your players, Danish players.
Danish players.
They're not your players anymore. You're no longer the head coach in Denmark. But
one of my club players, actually, Mads Kolding.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he just couldn't hit it from one end to get it to the back of the court because the drift was so bad on the court he had played. Oh, dear.
And I just checked to see whether, because, I mean, all this kind of drift stuff and so on, it might sound a little bit fluffy for those at home watching this. So is it real or what is it? And the thing that you can see is that at this stage of the All England, the second day of play, we had 10 matches going an hour or longer. Now we're halfway through this second day of play here in Malaysia Open, and we've only had one match touching the hour.
Yeah.
So the matches are shorter, the rallies are shorter, in my opinion, here.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Service over. 9-5.
Oh, my goodness, how quick was that?
That's clinical.
9.
That's incredible. I suppose he knows that if his opponent lifts, it's likely to go long, so he might as well hunt the net.
Or likely to go short.
Yeah.
But that's the specific skills of Tanang. Like, look how quick he is backwards. He's moving backwards so fast.
Oh. Yeah, well, he's turning and pointing towards that back line, the left-hander, as if to say to himself, would have gone long. Yeah, he's looking at it.
On court 3,
it's difficult to tell, isn't it?
And now he doesn't know, so why not let it fall and take the chance? I mean, you're so far behind in the rally if you take it. Oh, lucky. Hit the net court.
Oh! That was almost... that would have been our play of the day, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But he didn't get it back. What a pity. Look, he sort of does a little hustle as if to try and put his opponent off, make him think he was going one way but go the other.
Service over.
So a 4-point advantage to Victor Axelsen here at the mid-game interval of game number 1. It's a super angle. Uses his height well, the tall man. Kenneth Jonassen, the coach. Sompol. He was a quick left-hander, wasn't he? Do you remember him playing?
Yeah, he was. He was.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Victor. (11-7). Play.
Oh my goodness, that is brilliant. Behind the back shot, played with the backhand. Look at that. And ends up winning the rally. That's incredible.
Yeah, it boosts your confidence when you make shots like
Yes.
that. And I think a very good start for Victor Axelsen here. I'm quite impressed how he moves on court and how low he can stay in his legs. I mean, he's a tall guy, but I think all the hard agility work that he's been doing for a couple of years now is beginning to pay off. But he has the advantage that he can play long from the net on this side. Oh, that's unlucky for Tanangsak.
Oh, good smash.
Service over. 8.
Straight down the line. Oh, did you see the way he bent his racket as he, Victor Axelsen, as he used his racket to keep his balance. Ooh. Well, there's a challenge here. I thought he touched the shuttle anyway.
Challenge called out.
I thought Tanangsak touched the shuttle. I wonder if we'll see that again. Maybe not, because Hawkeye has been asked to adjudicate. Oh, find that extraordinary.
A good call by the line judge.
Yeah.
Unsuccessful. Service over. 9-14. Victor Allison, 1 challenge remaining.
Yeah, see how that's just taken by the drift.
14. Out. Service over.
No, that's his second service error.
10. Fault. 16. 10.
The backhand defense of Tanangsak has been a little bit dodgy.
Is that technique or is that lack of movement to his backhand side?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's long.
Service over. 11-16.
I don't know. We sometimes see left-handers particularly struggle with their backhand side in the defense. might just be me noticing it, but and not really being the case. But I remember some of the Danish left-handers that also struggled in the backhand side. That one, former world champion Peter Rasmussen,
11.
wasn't too much in defense, but when he was, the backhand side was the one to target for him from his opponent.
Oh, that's well taken again. There's a couple he's taken off the top of the tape.
12-17.
He's doing a good job, Tanangsak, on this side of the court, in my opinion.
Oh, well taken. Yeah.
It seems like it really can go long in that left side of the court there if you give it a little height. The lift.
Like that one.
Yeah.
It's always a little confusing when we see it from the other angle to understand the drift when we're talking about the drift, because just explain from where we look down most of the time.
Tanangsak is playing with the drift. The problem is that Victor also makes some mistakes on the back court, especially on the Tanangsack's forehand side, where if you lift the shuttle high, sometimes it gets sort of caught by the wind and drifts out.
Service over. 14-18. Out.
Wow.
Oh dear. Third service error.
19-14.
Yeah, that's a good net play from Victor Axelsen. He really is challenging there. We know that Tanangsak has punished him a couple of times, but he's still challenging at the net, and that's, in my opinion, the right strategy, because you have to win the net in these conditions here.
Oh, that's brilliant. What a fabulous shot. That's one of the 6 game points saved. Yes, it just came from nowhere. It was brilliant. This time, opening game to the number 6 seed, Victor Axelsen, 21-15. Yeah, they are quick games, aren't they? I make that just about 15 minutes.
I mean, I don't think we've seen one rally with 2 clears in it.
No. Well, they've got it down as 13 minutes.
Thank you.
So the players return to court. This man, Victor Axelsen, having won the opening game, 21-15.
1 20 seconds. 1 20 seconds. Second game, love all, play.
Oh, that's a good smash. My
One
goodness.
love.
I can see your point, Steen, about the movement of Victor Axelsen. It's much more fluent, and that probably comes from the strength in the legs now.
Hopefully, the strength and the agility, and sort of feeling
Service over.
a little bit more comfortable in the hole, and making his second round here in Malaysia. And we know that a couple of times after he's been to one of his 6 finals.
Yeah.
In the Super Series, he's been struggling in the first round after that, but
Yeah, that's very true.
but he's done better here. I think left immediately after the final in Delhi, got on the plane immediately, and that's so important to sort of gain half a day.
I always think it's a bit of a dilemma, though, because of course he flew overnight.
Yeah.
So probably not much sleep on the plane, but you're right, then he has an extra day to get used to the conditions here, whereas I travelled with the Korean team. We came on the Monday morning, got here Monday evening, so we didn't have an overnight flight, but they missed out on training, on
They missed
practice.
out on training. You want to buy drinks and some food supplies and so on. And you get that done late, and then all of a sudden the tournament is already
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, because of course Tuesday was the qualifying matches, wasn't it? So players couldn't get to train in the arena here.
3-2.
Now, in my opinion, the tournament that lies ahead of a Premier Series, whether it's a Super Series or a Grand Prix Gold, whatever it is,
Out.
in my opinion, they should finish on Saturday. They should have finals day on Saturday.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I know the BWF are discussing possibilities for the Super Series and how to move it to a whole new higher level. So those sort of suggestions, I'm sure, will be discussed.
Service over, 4-3.
It's a big miss here from Tanungsak.
Yeah, he's pounced on that net very well today,
Yeah.
hasn't he, the left-hander?
So there's a certain height. When Victor takes it below that height, you can make sure that Tanungsak is there at the net.
Service over.
Now, did my eyes deceive me, or was that a bit of sideways drift as well, perhaps?
I think there was some sideways
Yeah.
drift, and that's what the players say, that it is very, very difficult to predict, and that's the worst conditions, that it's unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, I think this stadium is a square, isn't it? And therefore there's bound to be a bit of swirly movement
Yeah.
of the natural air movement.
There's many doors open here.
Yeah.
They're not really blocked by curtains as we see in other tournaments, and there's rooms with air conditioning, rooms without air conditioning, and so on. So it all creates
Yeah.
these drifty conditions.
Wicket.
Yeah, let's come back in.
8.
And things are looking good right now for Axelsen, because he has managed to control his shots to the backcourt of Tanungsak. And that's really disturbing when you go to the side where you hope that the opponent can't play long, then suddenly he can actually control his shots. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great lift. That's exactly how it should be.
5-8.
So your opponent can't jump into it, intercept it, and do not have enough time to move the feet.
Service over.
Well, I think it's important for Tanonsak keep his head up. Did you see his head after that rally? He looked a little bit...
Yes, but I've seen it a number of times, and it's deceiving because he can play 4 or 5 really, really good rallies all of a sudden, but he seems like he's struggling right now.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Joe. Little shake of the head. He doesn't seem in panic, though.
No.
Not at all.
He's a nice character. I had a nice chat to him a couple of years ago in India.
11-5 interval.
So a 6-point advantage for the number 6 seed here in the second game, mid-game interval. I thought last year, you know, Victor Axelsen, I think I said on one of the commentaries, I said I think he's come of age. You know, he's now matured into a regular player that's fighting for titles, getting through to the latter stages of Super Series. But I guess in his own mind, he probably feels until he's actually won a Super Series title, he hasn't, I hate to use the phrase, made it.
Yeah, I think so. He's doing so many things right, and I think perhaps he's a little bit eager to get that Super Series title. But as it often is, when you relax or when you most want it, it's difficult. When you sort of relax a little bit and have a little injury or have a little bad preparation, then suddenly everything works out to your advantage. I remember still the first Super Series here in Malaysia, where Peter Gade was hospitalized for 2 or 3 days, left the hospital bed and went on to win the tournament.
Yeah.
So the practice that you've already done over the last many years, it doesn't go away because you have 2 or 3 days of bad practice or non-practice at all.
No.
It helps a little bit on your mood. The relief of being able to play instead of being in a hospital bed or whatever it is.
And maybe you don't put any expectations on yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, that's year you were talking about when Peter Gade won. The very first year of the Super Series, 2007.
6-14.
It was remarkable. Do you remember who he played in the final?
No, I don't. But I remember we were joking that going to the Sudirman Cup, I would knock him in the head in the airplane so he would be hospitalized again for a couple of days.
No, he's just running away with this now, isn't he? Victor Axelsen.
But I mean, it must be like it's been Lee Chung-wei that's won the tournament ever since.
No, Lee Chung-wei actually lost, I think in 2007, oh, I'll have to check my notes. You've thrown me there, Steen. You've
That's
thrown
good.
me.
I'll make a note in my calendar.
Peter Gade beat Bao Chun-lai in the final.
Bao Chun-lai, yeah.
Final.
Yeah, that's one of the great players that sort of
went under the radar, right?
He went under the radar. He's not remembered as the big player he was, in my opinion. What a fantastic player to watch. Such a skillful player. Just unlucky to be playing at the same time as Lindan.
Yeah.
9-17.
Well, he more or less surrendered here in the second game, Tanang-sak.
Yeah, I felt when I mentioned that his head and his reaction after a rally, and I felt, you know, he's beating up on himself, and yeah, you see, look at that.
Service over. 18-9.
Problem is when you feel it's not your day, trying to sort of get that out of your head and believe that you can still win is, well, that's what champions somehow manage to do, and the rest of us mere mortals can't do it.
But that's interesting, because I noticed a tweet, I think, saying just not our day or my day or whatever it is. And I wonder how many players have actually won a match when it was not their day. Probably some have, but that's the one that play on Saturday and Sunday.
Service over.
So 2 points away from the first ever quarter-final here at the Malaysia Super Series. Victor Axelsen.
Match point. 10.
Make that 1 point away.
Service over. 11-20. Game.
Yeah, very good performance from Victor Axelsen. 21-15, 21-11.
Match won by Victor Axelsen. 21-15.
In a match lasting just under 28 minutes. Confirmation of the scoreline. Yes, a nice wave to us from Victor Axelsen as he's through to the quarter-final. 2 straight games, 21-15, 21-11. So our next match is men's singles again, and we will find out who Victor Axelsen will be playing in tomorrow's quarter-final. Will it be the number 2 seed, the 10-time former champion Lee Chong-wei of Malaysia, or Seo Man-ho of Korea? Well, as the players wait in the wings, I can tell you that Steen Pedersen was absolutely right. 2007 quarter-final, Lee Chong-wei, last time that he lost in this event. Well, I can tell you that Lindan is safely through to play against Jan Jorgensen. He won his match against Boonsak Ponsana 21-15, 21-9. So in this bottom half of the draw, just one quarter-final place to be decided. And it's the match we're about to watch.
On court 1, men's singles.
So the Korean Son Wan-ho announced to come forward onto court. Never beyond this stage of this tournament. But just listen to the roar for the home player, Lee Chong-wei, the number 2 seed. 10 times he's won this title. The first in 2004. What an incredible record he has here on home soil. Chris Yip of Hong Kong, our umpire for this one. And yes, it was 9 years ago the last time this man lost here. Quarter-final stage of 2007 when he was the number 2 seed, lost out to Bao Chun Lai, who then lost in the final to Peter Gader, as we were saying a little earlier. But his opponent first, Son Wan-ho, he's 27 years of age, though he'll turn 28 next month. He is up 2 places in the world ranking this week, as you can see, to number 11. Has been as high as number 4, 11 weeks as number 4, 2 separate spells at that career high of 4. Now he, in the first round, had to play against the qualifier, Go Soon Huat of Malaysia. 21-13 in 52 minutes in that deciding game. So to Lee Chong-wei, the 33-year-old from Georgetown, Penang. Of course, he has been world number 1. Down 1 place in the world ranking, on the world ranking published earlier today. So down to number 4, 10 titles, 11 finals here. This is 15th appearance. And he beat in the first round a man who was promoted from the qualifying, Takuma Ueda of Japan. Just 33 minutes to dispose of him. So this will be the 10th meeting between the 2 players. And of the previous 9, Lee Chong-wei has not only won 8, but he's won the last 4. The last time they met was in Dongguan in the Sudirman Cup quarter-final. Quarter-final, which of course Korea ended up winning 3-1. But the one match that Malaysia did win in that Sudirman Cup was Lee Chong-wei's, as you saw, 21-17, 21-12. So Chris Yip and Christian Johannesson, they did our first match, didn't they? But the opposite way round. The service judge is now the umpire, and the umpire is now the service judge.
Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Lee Chong-wei, Malaysia. And on my left, Son Wan-ho, Korea. Lee Chong-wei to serve. Level, flat.
So Lee Chong-wei getting this second. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely plumb on the line. What a way to start this second round match. Well, take that. He's sent a message of intent.
Almost like a show match. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll do the short service, you'll lift to my forehand, or I'll hit it on the line.
And it's gone long. Well, of course, Lee Chong-wei, at the end of last year, 3 titles back-to-back. 3 Super Series titles, I should say. French Super Series, Hong Kong Super Series, China Super Series. Of course, China was before Hong Kong. And then at the beginning of this year, his first tournament of the year, the Malaysian Grand Prix Gold, he promptly won that. So 4 consecutive tournament titles in 4 tournaments played. But Steen, since then, been a little bit of a hiccup for Lee Chong-wei. Of course, at the All England Championships, he was the #2 seed, lost in the first round to Sai Praneeth of India last week. This is a good rally, isn't it? Oh, that's landed in. That's come back in. Last week, he was the #1 seed in India, and he lost in the second round to Wei Nan. But I was reading comments from his coach, Hendro, that no need to panic. He's been doing some really good training in preparation, and everything, of course, for him is geared towards Rio Olympic Games.
Yeah. Very good remarks from Hendro, and very appropriate. And the interesting thing to see is what about the Malaysian media? Can they sort of accept this? I think a lot comes down to this tournament here in Shah Alam on home soil. He's won it so many times, so I think people expect him to go far in this tournament, and I think he almost has to win it. But he's got a tough way.
Yeah. But you see, that was another thing that Hendro once said, because he said the Malaysian public mustn't expect him to win the whole time.
Exactly, exactly. I couldn't agree more. I mean, you have to give your players time to do the tough training, and it's just so important that you can't play and play and play and expect to play well in all tournaments. It's not so often that you see that described in the media. It would be interesting to see an article on how the periodization is done throughout a year. We have these 2 months, January and February, where there's no Super Series tournaments. Of course, Chung Wei had to play the Malaysian Grand Prix Gold, so he's perhaps prolonged this period a little bit.
Son Wan-ho last year was the #3 seed. He lost in the first round to Xue Song. I don't know, Steen, if you've heard any news about Xue Song. I mean, it was a horrendous injury. You wouldn't have seen it last week because it wasn't on the television court. I was wincing
afterwards.
Yeah, I winced because I've had 5 knee operations, and it looked to me as if it was a very, very nasty knee injury.
I saw somewhere that they mentioned that it was a torn meniscus.
Oh, well, that's not as bad as ligaments, I guess.
But then it's about what happens when you look inside that knee. Is everything intact there, or are there other injuries as well? Terrible blow for Xue Song, who was, in my opinion, on the way to at least reaching the final and perhaps winning it, because he played Victor Axelsen, I think, in the All England and beat him. So, in my opinion, he would have been the favorite.
Look how Lee Chong-wei is taking the shuttle early. Look at that.
Out.
No, it's come back in.
I thought it would go at least to the middle of the small doubles field. It stayed in. That's one of the longest rallies of today, isn't it, Jill? 28 shots.
Yeah, I think it is.
Umpire David Wong, Malaysia. Service judge Christian Hedelund, Denmark.
It's been very inconsistent, Son Ho, in my opinion. Last week beat Lindan and then lost easily to Victor Axelsen.
Yeah.
It's been going up and down with his results. I can't really figure him out.
No. Of course, he's won 2 Super Series titles as Son Ho. India 2012, when he beat his opponent of today. That was his only victory over Lee Chong-wei. The 2014 Hong Kong, when he beat Chen Long in the final.
And that's where I thought he was going to make his final breakthrough to the
Yeah.
top 5 and sort of stamp his mark there, but he hasn't been able to keep it up, and then suddenly he pops up and makes some really, really good results. And of course, we also know that the Korean players, they're doing some military services at strange times, and there's no exception unless you have an Olympic medal. So that might be some of the explanation.
I think there are some other exceptions as well. Asian Games,
Probably,
gold medal.
yeah. The big.
And I think maybe world titles as well. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I did get told this once from my friend Don Hearn, and who lives in Korea, and I can't remember.
At least these 2 big multi-sports events get you exempt from military service, and of course, as I'm told, also some kind of pension. So there's a lot at stake there.
Yeah. Well, I know after the 2012 Olympics, Son Ho was out for 9 months and did his military duty, and then had shin splints, and so he was away from the game for 9 whole months, which is quite a time.
It's actually amazing to be able to come back.
No, he's overdone it. He's hitting with the sideways drift going that way. Oh yes, it's well taken.
And he's been playing well so far, Son Ho here, employing a more defensive style than I would have thought would be possible.
It's amazing the amount of badminton he's played of late, isn't it? Because he played the German Grand Prix Gold, the All England, then he went down to New Zealand. He played last week in India. He's also entered, I notice, into the Singapore Super Series next week, then the China Masters, and then the Asian Championships.
And it's more or less hold the Korean team that plays so many tournaments.
So that's 8 tournaments in 9 weeks. Surely if they do well and get Olympic qualification points, they won't play all of those, will they? Maybe they will.
I'm not sure. But at least it's something that that some of the Europeans might sort of think about. If the Koreans can play 8 weeks out of 9, why is it that we have to go back home after 2 weeks only?
Yeah. Well, Ho Hun Wei, the Korean coach, and there's Hendra for Lee Chong-wei. 4 points adrift at the moment, and Tae Soo Bok.
Clock 1, 20 seconds. Clock 1, 20 seconds. Like it. Like it. The right side of the ball. 11-7, black.
So 11-7. Yeah, yes, that's nice.
Yeah, that's well played.
Oh, yes. Good follow-up. Good attacking play. Oh, great reactions from Lee Chong-wei. Well, I don't know what Hendra Won said, but whatever he said has worked.
4 straight points after the interval.
Yeah.
And he's been attacking the backhand side of Solomon Hall relentlessly. I think that's important because that has been one of the issues with Chong Wei over the years when he was playing good opposition, that when he doesn't get through with his attack a couple of times, then he sort of backs off and never uses it. But now he's sort of he's keeping on doing it,
Yeah.
and just changing a little bit of the placement or the pace and so on, and suddenly he gets through.
Well, just eases into the lead. 6 of the 7 points since the mid-game interval. Missed it.
Service over. 13 over.
Yeah, good call, line judge.
I would say though, one or two smashes or stick smashes to the body or to the forehand side might keep the backhand side even more open.
Perhaps afraid to lift there, thinking about the drift. Maybe he'd changed his mind, I don't know, but it looked a very funny final net shot, didn't it, from So Won Ho?
That's a good shot.
Oh, challenge here. Well, it's the opposite end from where we're sitting, so it's very difficult for us to tell. But the challenge was immediate. Well, I thought instinctively it may have landed in, but as I say, very, very difficult for us to tell. Hawkeye will tell us. Yeah, we were right. Line judge was
Challenge
right.
unsuccessful. Service over. 14-all. Lee Chong-wei, 1 challenge remaining. Play.
Oh, it's quick to get that. Oh, he's missed it. That was a wide open court. Looks up towards the lights.
14. Lee Chong-wei, shot it.
Yeah, they've done all the hard work.
Service over. 15-all.
You know, I think the sideways drift is considerably different from end to end.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Which isn't really much help to people watching because I don't know which way it's going. Yes. Now, Steen, you must have telepathy with him or something.
I don't think so.
Bearing it up more now, his attack. It's a very, very clever body smash.
Line judge. Wipe the court, please.
And what happens when there's this much of a drift and when it's unpredictable like we believe it is here in the stadium? What happens is that the players, they start playing with bigger margins towards the lines because it doesn't pay to play close to the lines because there will be too many mistakes. The only place it pays to play with sharp shots is at the net.
Yeah.
$16-15.
That's gone long.
Service over. 16-all.
Oh, yes. Pounced on that, did Lee Chong-wei.
17-16.
It was like he read that from someone who the forehand shot.
Play, please.
The racket position and the body position.
Oh, he's opened up a 2-point cushion. Now, thankfully, the players weren't disturbed. We suddenly got a spotlight in our eye, didn't we?
Yeah, I was sitting here smiling. Must be someone photographing. Couldn't see any of the court though, but doesn't matter.
Oh, that goes down as a
Service over.
unforced error from Lee Chong Wei.
18.
Phenomenally good. That smash was inch perfect.
19-17.
Just inside the line. That's what you were talking about. Giving yourself a little margin for error. Well, that wasn't much of a margin for error. Well, that's the longest rally of the match so far, isn't it? Oh, there's a challenge here, and I think he's right to challenge. We're not in the best position to see that line, but instinctively I thought that was just a fraction out. But Hawkeye will tell us for sure.
Very important
Yeah, it's a
decision here. There it is.
Oh, it's caught the line.
Yeah.
It was in. Yeah. Well, I was wrong. Line judge was right.
20. Game point 17. Song Wan Ho, 1 challenge remaining. Play.
So 3 game point opportunities for the 10-time former champion. It's well saved, isn't it?
Service over.
And 10 times, that's an awful lot of years you played the tournament. 15 times you said earlier.
Yeah.
And 10 times winning it, that's 10 times where everything has sort of fit together on the same occasion. That's really extraordinary.
Yeah, +1 final back in 2003. Lost out to Chen Hong. Yeah. Opening game on his second game point opportunity. 21-18.
21-18.
No, that little spurt after the mid-game interval, that was very, very impressive. 6 or 7 points after the mid-game interval, and that was just what he needed. So 21-18, opening game. Now the coaches depart the court. Instructions from these two coaches.
Clock 1, 20 seconds. Clock 1, 20 seconds. Take your line practice.
So Lee Chong-wei, having won that opening game, 21-18. Eleven times finalist.
Second game.
15th appearance, his first appearance here.
Level.
As we start the second
Flat.
game. He came through the qualifying round in the year 2000. Lost in the last 64. It was a draw of 64 then. Oh. Oh, that is perfect, isn't it? You don't get any better than that. Hit the top of the tape and just trickled over. Look at this. Perfection. Well, he stood his ground. I think he was expecting the drop shot rather than, well, I'm not sure whether that was a backhand smash or backhand drive. More of a drive, I think.
Yeah. A drive that went too high.
Yeah.
It was a really, really important first game, I think, for Lee Chong-wei after his two tournaments in India and All England. It was nice to win the first game on a tough opponent like Sung Won Ho. You can afford to take a few more chances when you have the first game in the bag. Loosens up a little bit.
Yeah, and also for Sung Won Ho, when you're playing against the Malaysian in Malaysia, where you know he's had so much success, then it's very difficult psychologically for Sung Won Ho to think and believe that he can come back. So Lee Chong-wei's on a high and Sung Won Ho's on a low.
Exactly, it's going to be a tough day at the office if he's going to come back. And I mean, if you're 17-all with Chong-wei in the first game, you want to capitalize from that and winning the game, and he wasn't able to do it, and now I think he's facing trouble here in the second game. The Korean.
I was going to say to you, Steen, what, you know, is there something different that Sung Won Ho should be doing? But then I stopped myself because I thought he really, to me, and maybe I'm belittling him, but to me he seems to only really have one way of playing.
Yeah, I thought we would see him in a more attacking style here because he would need it. We really haven't seen him that much attacking. Perhaps it's been much for him because we haven't seen him play clear rallies or anything like that, but that's also due to Chong-wei, that he's sort of firing away on everything that's above the tape. I feel that Sung Won Ho, he has a little edge in his backhand side at the net if he wants to take control of the rallies. I feel he's got a little bit better touch in his backhand than Chong-wei's got in his forehand, but it looks like it's not enough to sort of take control over the match.
Yeah. It's gone way, way long.
Yeah.
It was interesting, we had a little glimpse there of the Malaysian coaches, and I think Tae Seung Bok was looking across at a very interesting women's doubles, so that's got to be a first. He's obviously feeling confident about his man. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It was the shot before that did the damage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the deception.
That one.
Yeah, and if you're off balance, you have no chance of controlling your shot in the drift here. If it has the correct length, it's just luck.
Now, what was that you were saying towards the end of the first game about those steep smashes down the forehand side? I think Lee Chong Wei is doing it.
As a variation, it will be good. Interesting to see if he's targeting the forehand side here of Song Wan Ho, because then it might be something about the half of the court.
Oh, that's nice. Now that's perhaps what you'd like to see him do a little more of, Song Wan Ho.
Yeah, yeah. It's also quite short, the lift from Chong Wei.
So he's got to choose his right one. Not all out attack. He's got to build the rally first.
Yeah. That's going to be a really hard way for someone who winning from the defense. I don't think it's possible. Not after losing the first game here.
Service over. 4-8.
Well, not only the 10 Malaysian Open titles, Lee Chong Wei, 41 Super Series titles. Most of any singles player. Oh, look at that.
Service over. 9-4.
He's actually moving backwards, jumping backwards, and still controlling it. Such a nice soft touch.
Oh, there's another challenge here.
Song Wan Ho challenges. Court in.
Well, seeing as I got it completely wrong the last time, I'm not going to try and make judgment this time. Just going to leave it completely for Hawkeye. And the Hawkeye confirms that the line judge was correct.
Song Wan Ho, one challenge remaining. Play.
Oh, yeah.
Service over.
No, that's the second time in the last 3 or 4 rallies, isn't it, that he's played that cross-court smash as a winner.
Yeah.
It's very nicely done.
That's normally his favorite shot. You know, the Danes have done a lot of video analysis on Song Wan Ho because they couldn't really figure him out. But I think the last number of times the Danes have played him, they've had the upper hand.
Line judge was unsighted.
Line judge unsighted.
So the umpire is asking for Hawkeye to tell us, and both players have walked off court. I think both players believe it was long. If it is long, we go to the mid-game interval. Well, the problem was Lee Chong Wei was between the line judge and the shuttle falling, so the line judge didn't get clear sight, and I think that's good line judging. If you can't see, say you can't see. Hawkeye's taking an age. Oh, it's landed in. Well, there you go. We're not going to the mid-game interval just yet.
6-10.
So a 5-point advantage here in the second game at the mid-game interval for Lee Chong-wei.
Muhammad Hassan Hussein, Iran, Court 2.
Tae-Soo Bok giving the instructions this time. 2 of his victories here, one by beating Lin Dan in the final. It was 2005 and 2006.
20 seconds. Coach, thank you.
Twice beat Park Sung-Wang. What on earth happened to him? Now, hang on, wait a minute. What's going on here? Smash placement today. Now, the Reds are outright winners. Yellow's unreturned. That was the one down, the body smash, I remember.
Yeah. I noticed the percentages that it was like 55% to the backhand side of Sun Won Ho. That's pretty much what I could derive from it on short notice.
Service over. 7-11.
Oh, he's missed it.
Yeah.
He's missed it.
Good net shot from Sung Won Ho, sets up the attack, and actually quite a good attack as well. But this one shows that he's not a native attacking player.
It's gone wide.
Service over.
But do you think he's right to try and follow up on his smashes?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He
So
has to
even if
try.
he isn't a natural at following forward and playing the kill, he's got to try and do it.
Yes. The playing conditions simply demands it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I didn't initially think that was going to go over. But it was perfect. Just that simple little block.
Yeah. I think he was really lucky, Lee Chong-wei, because he actually played it too close. I liked the shot from Sung Won Ho. But yeah, sometimes you're lucky and sometimes it's your day, like this smash here.
It's poetry in motion, isn't it? The way Lee Chong-wei leaps in the air, plays that shot. So the percentages down the backhand side will be going up even more, won't they now, from Lee Chong-wei?
Service over. 9-15.
Now you see what a contrast in the follow-up to the net after a smash between the two players.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lee Chong-wei is so fast at the net. It gets almost always, at least in this match, good opportunities. Whereas we've seen since someone who missed that a big opportunity at the net, he's not really gone for it as on the follow-up shots. He's just played on and on and on, and that makes him give Lee Chong-wei too many chances.
Yeah, there was hesitation. That really cost him dear. Thought about leaving it. Saw one ho, then decided to play it on the backhand. Yeah, that was a softer smash, wasn't it?
Softer smash and doesn't get you too much out of balance. You can move faster forward. Wouldn't have been able to follow up on his attack though. Very, very good return from Lee Chong-wei. Had it come over. And that's one of the quality differences between the good players and the very best players. The accuracy in the defense, so important that you don't leave any chances open for your opponent to follow up on their initial attack. And Lee Chong-wei, Chen Long, Lin Dan, they're really, really strong at that.
Two points from the quarterfinal, Lee Chong-wei. And really since that 4-point deficit at the mid-game interval of the opening game, I think Lee Chong-wei, although it was a close score in the opening game, I felt he's been very much in control.
Yeah.
That's nice play.
Had he won this point here, he would have won double as many points as his opponent since exactly that mid-game interval.
11-19.
Oh, it's gone wide. Well, Lee Chong-wei a little bit lucky about that because he didn't anticipate that at all. He was left stranded. Match point opportunities for the 10-time former champion. Oh, a little bit of trickery. Oh, lovely. And again, it's a steep smash with very little pace on it from Son Wan Ho doing the damage. Look at that. That's terrific. All about placement and angle. Well, delaying the inevitable, one suspects, but I've seen stranger things happen. Oh, he's taken it. Yeah. So 21-18, 21-12, and Lee Chong-wei through to the quarterfinal. The number 2 seeds, the megastar here in Malaysia. Yeah, he was going to leave it. Then decides he's going to play it, and his opponent gifted him with the unforced error. "46 minutes in total for that victory. 21-18, 21-12. So he'll play against Victor Axelsen tomorrow in the quarterfinal. So our next match, we turn our attention to women's singles. And it's the number 3 seed, Saina Nehwal of India, up against the left-handed Bae Young-ju. Bae Young-ju, of course, was a beaten finalist here 6 years ago, 2010. Lost out to the left-handed Wang Sin. So it was a battle of the left-handers in that final 6 years ago. In fact, she had to retire injured. I remember it well. She hurt her ankle. So as far as this match is concerned, well, this is the bottom half of the draw, and all other quarter-final places have been decided. And the big shock, of course, is the number 8 seed, the All England champion, Okuhara, beaten by Pontip Ranapratsatsuk. As you can see, in the other big news from this bottom half of the draw is the Olympic champion, Li Shuirui. She's been beaten by Tai Su Ying of Chinese Taipei. So here comes Bae Young-ju, the left-handed Korean. Saina Nehwal, a former world number 1. 3 times she's been a semi-finalist here. 2012, 13 and last year as well. Lost out to Li Shuirui, who we've just seen. Lost earlier today to Tai Su Ying. Li Shuirui lost that final last year. Carolina Marin, of course, was the winner a year ago. So Amin Mir of Iran are on par for this one. So Bae Young-ju, 25 years of age, a left-hander, up a couple of places in the world ranking. Today, up to 13. Has been as high as 5, a total of 12 weeks as number 5 in the world. As I say, beaten finalist 6 years ago. And to get to that final, I remember she beat the number 1 seed, the world number 1, Wang Yihan. So, with a couple of semi-finals here in Malaysia as well. Her victory yesterday. Gosh, she does play a lot of left-handers, doesn't she? That final I was talking about. And Linda Zechuri of Bulgaria, she's a left-hander too. 32 minutes for that victory yesterday. Simon Abel, well, she's been 3 times a semi-finalist, as I say. Turned 26 last month, and she's gone down 2 places in the world ranking this week to number 8. But did spend a total of 14 weeks as world number 1. Now, her first round opponent, Nicharon Jindapon from Thailand. Gosh, it was a one-sided second game, wasn't it? I suspect that was the drift coming into play. 30 minutes for that victory. So this is only Simon Abel's 4th tournament of the year, but this will be the 13th meeting between these 2 players, and of the previous 12, Simon Abel has won 8 of them, including the last 3. The last time they played was the Sudirman Cup in Dongguan last year. Simon Abel coming through in 3 games. That was the group stage, 1 hour and 8 minutes for that 3-game victory. So as far as Bae Young-ju, this her 8th tournament of the year. For Simon Abel, only her 4th, as we look at our umpire and our service judge. Obviously working in pairs, the court officials today, because Johan de Klerk of South Africa and Hermin Amin of Iran were working together earlier. They did the Victor Axelsen match in the singles match. So Bae Young-ju and Simon Abel were the 2 beaten semi-finalists from last week in India. So it's a tough draw, isn't it? The meeting in the 2nd round here in Malaysia. Withdrew from 3 events earlier in the year because of injury problems. Simon Abel, Syed Modi Grand Prix Gold event in Lucknow in India, the Thailand Masters, where she was the number 1 seed. I think she actually had to withdraw from that because she was selected for the South Asian Games, both at the same time. Not allowed to enter 2 events at once, are you? So if she hadn't have withdrawn, I think she would have been withdrawn by the BWF. So the player's just about ready.
On my left, Saina Nehwal, India. Saina Nehwal to serve, love ball, play. One, love. Call. 2, love.
Yeah. Good smash down the backhand side of the left-hander. Good year last year, not only became world #1, 5 finals from 13 tournaments, winning 2 of them. 2 titles that Saina Nehwal did win were both on home soil. India Grand Prix Gold event, she retained that title that she had won the previous occasion. And the India Super Series, and I guess the fact that she was defending winner points from the India Super Series and the fact she lost in the semi-final is the reason why she's perhaps gone down a couple of rungs in the world ranking today.
5 love.
It's going to be interesting to see because these 2 players are 2 of the players that normally rely the most on accuracy and shot precision, and I think Bae-Young-ju is in for a tough time because I feel that she needs to be accurate even more than Saina does. I feel Saina's better at this windy conditions playing style.
1 5.
But it's going to be interesting to see in this match.
Service over.
Yeah, I feel that Bae-Young-ju, a bit like Son Wan-ho in our previous match, tends to sometimes be underestimated and sort of goes under the radar a little bit, but maybe also a lack of form perhaps in the early stages of last year.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that she's not a natural good mover on the court. She needs to work on her movement and be in really, really good shape. When she is that, she plays really, really well. Beautiful shots, very, very accurate. Good angles from that left hand there. But speed-wise, I think she can't really compete with the top 5 players. And that's why it's very, very surprising to me that Okuhara lost today to Pontip Purana Prasatsuk. I thought she would have excellent possibilities in these conditions. Very, very quick player, excellent technique. That's puzzling that she's out.
Service over. 9 2.
It's going wide. I'm interested that you don't feel that the left-hander can really match the speed of the top players nowadays, because, you know, it was only 2013 when she won a bronze medal at the World Championships in Guangzhou. A year later, 2014, wins a bronze medal at the Asian Games. It was your talk about Okuhara as well, who we saw at the All England was so fast, and at the Super Series finals. And I'm wondering, even in the last couple of years, whether the level of women's singles has gone up.
There's no doubt, in my opinion, that the level has gone up. There's been more players. There's been no good draws in this Super Series tournament and Premier Series where there's 32 players in. You have to be there from round 1. There's no easy opponents, and there's a lot of new countries emerging on the international scene. And that's really refreshing.
Interval.
Yeah, I concur with that. That's a very handsome lead for Saina Nehwal. 8-point advantage. Vimal Kumar will be very, very happy with that.
And we often discuss how much the coaches should tell the players in the mid-game intervals and so on. But here I feel, even though we can see that Vimal Kumar has already left the court, you can't see that here's the Korean coach in the picture. But here it's appropriate, because when you're leading 11-3 against a player who's a good player, you must expect some kind of adjustment to come from your opponent. So try to force to forecast what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Might be appropriate. Otherwise, if it was 11-3 against a qualifying player, then maybe just play on and focus on your own game.
4-11.
Well, the Korean coach, Park Tae-sang, had a little chat to him last week in Delhi. He's a very smiley, lovely person. Very serious when he's coaching, of course, but...
He's probably thinking about the time when he won a decisive match in the Thomas Cup team against Denmark. That's probably why he's smiling.
Oh, sorry. Saw some, I'm making the teas tonight, I can see. It's a good rally, isn't it? That is a very good rally. Yeah, she's struggling to get down low to that backhand net position. Bae Young-ju. That's got to be the longest rally of the match. I wonder if it's the longest of the day so far. Of our matches, that is.
How long was it? We had one
37 in the men's singles, the last match.
That's exactly.
Oh, 33. Missed it.
Service over. 5-13.
Yeah, good call, line judge. Yeah, there it is again. That backhand net for Bae Young-ju. I don't know whether it's the injury problems or whether it's just a problem anyway.
Also a very, very good shot from Sana Neval. Very quick movement. And it seems that it would land really close to the net, so requires an extra half step from Bae.
Oh, there's a challenge here.
Bill Joe challenges out. Called out.
On the baseline?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a difficult one to challenge, isn't it? But sometimes players, you know, you just get that instinct as you hit it. Oh, yeah, it was in. Good challenge.
Challenge successful.
Very good challenge.
Correction in. Service over. 6-14. Service over. 15-6. Service over. 7-15.
Oh, that is delightful. Wonderful skill.
7.
Looked as if she was going to lift it, but just checked the shot.
Yeah. That's a very good decision. The net shot from Bae simply spun too far away from the net, so Sina had all opportunities.
Service over. 13. Nine, 17.
Wow.
Service over. 18.
Wide and long.
9.
Is that her first service error?
I think so.
Yeah.
Service over. 19, 9.
Oh, delightful.
There it was again.
20, game point, 9.
A whole host of game point opportunities for Sina Nehwal.
Service over. 10, 20. Pause. Game.
So, opening game,
First game.
21-10.
Sina Nehwal, 21-10.
Just 12 minutes for Sina Nehwal. Number 3 seed to close out that opening game. Yeah, Park Tai-sang. Now, become a feature of her game, the retying of the shoelaces at the intervals. Sina Nehwal. Now, I wonder what Park Tai-sang had to say to Bae Young-ju.
Point 1, 20 seconds. Point
Yeah.
1, 20 seconds.
She probably needs to try to control the match a little bit more with a more attacking style, but I don't think she's capable of doing it. She's got quite some strapping on that left knee as well. Not only the white bandage that you can see below the knee, but she's also got some skin-colored bandage above the knee.
Yeah.
Second game. Love on. Play.
That's great judgment. I'm looking straight down that line.
Love.
And it was just when it was falling towards the floor that it sort of drifted out.
Mm. It's going well wide.
Interesting that Sina was playing the drop shots to the middle of the court there, to the middle of the to the middle line, and not wanting to give Bae these angles that are so lethal from her.
that stayed in.
3 love.
I think it's very, very important for the Korean, isn't it? She's got to stop this run. I mean, she really wasn't in the opening game for a large part. She's got to stay with Sina Nehwal here at the start of the second.
And find some kind of winning formula. I mean, right now she must be in a situation where she feels like, I don't know how to win points against Sina. I might win once or twice, but it's more luck than actually a plan.
Service over. 1-3.
I didn't see much of Sina playing in India Open, but I remember seeing her play at the All England and now here. And even though she hasn't been challenged a lot here, I think it's safe to say that her form is progressing in the right direction after her injury.
Yeah.
2-3. Service over. 4-2.
It's found the line again.
5-2.
Well, it was interesting what you were saying earlier, Steen, about how women's singles has improved in the last couple of years, literally, because Bae Young-ju was one of those players that I thought about 4 or 5 years ago was going to be the big breakthrough player. 3 Super Series tournament finals. Last one was India of 2011. So, you know, since then, if the game's progressed, and she hasn't really, then...
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you once in a while, when you meet the right opponents that suit your playing style and so on, you make good results. Whereas others, you are not really able to challenge them. But I think she's been prone to a lot of injuries, Bae.
That very badly deflected by the net cord.
But it's happened really, really quickly, this increase of competition in women's single. I mean, it's like almost like a team bicycle race that Lee Sherwood came forward and set the standards in 2012. 2013, Rachana Gintanen takes over and takes the lead for a short period. Then Sina Nehwal and Carolina Marin emerges on the stage, and now Nozomi Okuhara is sort of giving it a notch more. So, yeah, you really got to develop if you want to stay on top of this game in women's singles.
Yeah, and let's not forget about Tai Su Ying either from
Exactly.
Chinese Taipei.
And she's going to be really, really dangerous in this tournament, I feel. We know that Okuhara skipped the India Open, wasn't totally feeling well, or a little injury or something like that. But Tai Su Ying was there at India Open, and she has the skills to do well here in Malaysia.
Mm. It's all running away from Bae Young-ju at the moment, isn't it? And it's all due to the very good play from Sina Nehwal. Creeping up, 34. off to the mid-game interval. Same scoreline as we had in the opening game. The 8-point advantage to Saina Nehwal. Such a nice man is Vimal Kumar. A little pat on the back for his player. Well done. Doing well, keep going.
Yeah, and now, I mean, there's not too much to be afraid of now for the Indian player and her coach, because if Bay had something in her toolbox, she would have used it now. Perhaps there's one last little desperation charge ahead of the Korean player here, but otherwise this is going to be smooth sailing for Saina. That's a fantastic rally we have here. This must be the longest rally of the day.
Oh yeah, very good rally. And all of the early stages, it was Bae Young-ju who was commanding the rally, dictating the pace.
Yeah.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. 37 shots equals our longest of the day. That was a good clear. That's great defence, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Taken off the body. Just guided in the right direction. No, it's landed in. Disappointed Bae Young-ju.
And quite a bit in, I suspect.
Just wide, but look how short that clear was.
She's more or less resigned. Bae.
Yeah. Oh, that's a delightful backhand from Saina Nehwal. Take a look at this. Look at that. Lovely. Lovely. Yeah, terrific net shot from Bae Young-ju. A moment of defiance.
17. Seven, 17. Eight, 17. Service over. 18, 8.
Well, I have to say, I mean, all credit to Sina Newell. I think she's played really well, but this isn't the sort of match I was expecting. I was really looking forward to this. I thought this might be quite a close one.
Yeah.
You don't agree?
No, I more or less expected this.
Yeah?
Because I mean, sometimes a change in playing conditions evens up players, and sometimes it divides players, and here I think it divides them.
Yeah.
So one of the European journalists, Mark Phelan from Ireland, saying that it was very windy, and if it was okay, even though it was the same for all, and I had to reply to him that it's definitely not the same for all. It's a challenge here.
Well, I thought that landed in. I thought the line judge was correct on that. But Hawkeye is going to tell us. Oof! Out by a whisker. So that's a great challenge.
Correction out. Service over. 99.
Oh.
Service over.
Just apologises. She didn't go over the net, I don't think. Oh, yeah.
There was a fault on Sina there.
Another one's landed in.
11, 19.
I thought there was a bit of hesitation there from Bae Young-ju.
Yeah, there was.
This one here, is she going to leave it? No, decides to play it. Plays a beautiful shot off it too. No. Bae Young-ju didn't want to change the shuttle, but umpire agrees with Sina Newell. This is 5 straight points. And only 5 points in it now. Halved the 10-point deficit. That's landed in as well.
And she's totally controlling it now from the front court bay.
Service over. 20, match point 15.
So 5 match point opportunities.
Women's doubles, Misaki Matsutomo Ayaka Takahashi, Japan versus Vivian Mulcahan, Wunkaway, Malaysia. Umpire, Aton Arnold, Estonia. Service Victor Wong, Hong Kong, China. Court 2.
That's gone long. And the match to the number 3 seed, Saina Nehwal. 21-10, 21-16.
Match won by Saina Nehwal.
Little over 32 minutes in total.
16.
Yeah, that movement does look much better now, doesn't it? And confirmation that she's through to the quarterfinal. 21-10, 21-16. So just one more match to come tonight, and it's men's doubles, and it features the world number ones Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung up against the number 1 pair on the Super Series standings, Go Vi-shem and Tam Wee-kyung. Yeah, Malaysian pair. Well, Go Vi-shem is a former champion here. Endo and Hawakawa, as you can see, came through an absolute thriller in their second round encounter. Number 5 seeds, Kim Hee-jung and Kim Sao-rang, safely through against Angriawan and Saputra. So here come the number 1 seeds, the world number 1s, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. Beaten finalists last year.
Opponents, Go Vi-shem, Tan Wee-kyung, Malaysia.
Go Vi-shem, who won the title here in 2014 with Lim Kim Hwa, with his new partner now, Tam Wee-kyung. They're number 1 on the Super Series standings. because they have played 2 tournaments, 2 semi-finals in the 2 Super Series events this year. And that moved them up 2 places today to number 1 on the Super Series standing. So Christian Johannesson of Denmark, our umpire for this one. Yeah, Lee Yongdae hadn't told the umpire who was going to serve first. 27 years of age, Lee Yongdae, former Olympic champion, of course, in Beijing in the mixed doubles with Lee Ho-jung. In fact, 2-time Olympic medalist is Lee Yongdae, and he's been world number 1 in the men's doubles with 3 different partners. Jung Jae-sung, Go Sung-hyung, and this man, his current partner, Yu Young-sung, 29 years of age, and he, of course, with his partner, had a sensational end to last year because they were the first men's doubles pair to win 6 Super Series titles in a calendar year, 4 consecutive in a calendar year, 4, which is a record for the 12 ordinary Super Series, excluding the Super Series finals. Now they came through against Lee Sheng-mu and Tsai Chie-sin of Chinese Taipei. 32 minutes. That one, pretty comfortable. So there's Go Vi-shem, 26 years of age, born in Kuala Lumpur. And he, it says, has been as high as 7. I'm not convinced by that. In this partnership, they are at their career high of 13. Go Vi-shem reached number 11 in the world ranking with Lim Kim-hwa. Tam Wee Keong certainly reached world number 7, playing with Hoon Tien Hao, but they didn't reach number 7 within this partnership. So as far as the Malaysians are concerned, they also had opposition from Chinese Taipei, Cheng Hong-ling and Wang Chia-lin. And like their opponents, it was pretty comfortable. Just 23 minutes for that. Well, this will be the 5th meeting between the 2 pairs. Previous 4, Lee Yongdae and Yu Young-sung have won 3 of them. The last time was in the quarter-final of the Sudirman Cup last year in Dongguan. So Christian Johannesson and Chris Yip, our court officials for this one. Well, it's interesting, that last meeting in the quarter-final of the Sudirman Cup, because these 2 pairs actually met in the group stage of the Sudirman Cup, and it was Go Vi-shem and Tam Wee Keong that won on that occasion,
Ladies and gentlemen,
having saved 5 match points.
and on my left, Go Vi-shem, Tam Wee Keong, Malaysia. Tam Wee Keong to serve, to Lee Yongdae. Double play.
So the Malaysians have been on an exceptionally good run. At the beginning of 2016, of course, they've already won a tournament this year, the Syed Modi Grand Prix Gold in Lucknow, and the 2 semi-finals from the 2 Super Series so far this year. Suddenly, I mean, we've talked last year, didn't we, Steen, about their potential as a pair, and they really have blossomed. It's started to come to fruition now this year.
Yeah, they have. They've been playing a lot, because there's also been some misses amongst them. Lost to the 4th Danish men's doubles and Swiss Grand Prix golds and so on. But who cares, as long as they do well in the big Super Series and Premier Series events.
Yeah, good point. You've actually touched on a really interesting thing, because I think that actually sums up this Malaysian pair. They can either be brilliant, as they were in winning the Commonwealth Games gold medal in Glasgow in 2014, or, as you say, I mean, losing to the fourth Danish men's doubles pair, Christiansen and Bugor.
That's not a good result.
It's not a good result.
For the best Malaysian men's doubles
yeah.
player.
Yeah, all credit to the young Danes, but no, they are inconsistent, I suppose, is what I'm trying to explain.
I mean, you could see it as they are a fairly new pairing. We know that the longest pairing is Matthias Bo and Carsten Mogensen. They played for 12 years now. So they played, what, 1 year and a half or something like that. And that means that when they get to play on their conditions, they are really, really good. But they haven't yet had the time to develop their B game or their C game against different kind of opponents, and I think that takes some time in order to be consistent and able to play against all combinations under all conditions.
Yeah, they really sort of, we all took notice of them at the Thomas Cup finals 2 years ago, didn't we, in Delhi, when they were selected for 5 of the 6 matches, played in 4. They didn't need to play in the 5th match they were selected for because the team had already won by then, but they remained undefeated throughout the campaign. And it was soon after that that they became a regular partnership.
Yeah.
Did you see, we watched them in the All England semi-final when they lost out to Endo and Hawakawa, who then were beaten in the final of the All England, and you and I just didn't understand their tactics. They seemed so defensive.
Yeah. And they were playing someone who were just relentless in their attack and also really good in their own defense. So it wasn't enough to smash 1 or 2 times during a rally. And it's a very interesting combination, because I think Go Wishem, he's got a lot of potential, and he's got great skills. He makes things seem so easy, but he plays his style, and sometimes, I mean, he needs to play a style that helps his partner as well.
Yeah.
Thinking back to what we discussed against or regarding Fuchs and Michels, that they are playing together.
Yes.
As a team. And as a team, when you play as a team, that means you're not necessarily always playing on your own strength, but you're helping your partner or partners, if there's more in a team, you're helping them as good as possible and sort of getting them to perform well. And that's what I think that Go has had as a problem with his former partners, that I mean, he's played more or less his own game, and if his partners then were able to follow him, then that was fine, and when they suddenly weren't, then they just lost.
Yeah.
So in many ways you could say that, I mean, whether Go will succeed here, that depends on Tan Wee Kyung. If Tan Wee Kyung can play well, there's a good chance that Go will have success.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play well, I mean, Go can say, yeah, I'm still a good player. But it doesn't really matter, because he won't have success.
No.
He'll still be on the plane home together with Tan Wee Kyung.
I can remember my first ever badminton coach saying to me that doubles was about making your partner look good. So everything you do, you should be doing to set up your partner and play them into a good position. And if you're both doing that, then you both look good. And that sort of emphasizes the point that you're trying to make. In the mixed doubles, the Germans do work for each other. And this is 2 individuals that sometimes want to express themselves, especially Go, in his own way that doesn't necessarily suit his partner.
And the perfect example of that is on the other side of the court. As you mentioned, Lee Young-dae has been #1 with 3 different partners, and he makes his partners good.
Yeah.
Another great men's doubles player, Tony Gunawan, won 3 major titles with 3 different partners, and we also know the Japanese head coach Park Ju-bong in his playing days. He was such a magnificent player of getting the best out of his partners.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw any of the semi-final last week with Go and Tan against Gideon Marcus Finaldi and Kevin Sanjaya Sukamojo, but it was a little intense, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw just the conclusion of the game with some discussion regarding flick serves and so on.
Yeah. Tan Wei Keong left the court without shaking hands with his opponents, and I noticed from the newspapers here this week, he's promised to keep his cool a little bit more.
Yeah.
They allowed themselves to get wound up because there's no doubt the Indonesians can showboat a little, and it's a little annoying if you're on the opposite side of the net, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, it's on the court, it's the umpire and the service judge who sort of sets the limits. And if the opponent can make use of that, then that's because they're better than you, because they have that in the toolbox as well. So you got to have the same thing they have in the toolbox, and sort of play to the limitations set by the court officials.
Yeah. I think also you've just got to rise above it. And, you know, that's easier said than done, I know. I was known to be a little bit fiery on occasions. This is an incredible comeback, isn't it? Six straight points. 3-10 down. It's just 1 point in it. But it is the world #1s who have the advantage at the mid-game interval.
And it's also interesting that they haven't played since the Sudirman Cup in Dongguan. So they won one match each. So we don't really know where we're standing.
Yeah. Kang Kyun-jin, the Korean coach, Jeremy Gang. And I can't see the other coach there. Oh, is that Tang Chis Chung?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Play.
Yeah, there's a challenge.
Challenges. Call out.
Here we go. Yeah, it was out.
Yeah, it was a wasted challenge.
Challenge unsuccessful. Challenge goal, 1 challenge remaining. Play.
Service fault called, struck above the waist.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I agree.
He was about to move a little bit too quickly, Yo Young-sung.
Well, we said he's been world #1 in the men's doubles with 3 different partners. He's actually been world #1 with 4 different partners because he was world #1 in the mixed doubles as well.
With Lee Hyo-jung?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been in 4 finals here with 4 different partners. 3 men's doubles with 3 different partners and the mixed doubles. He's a fairly incredible player, isn't he?
The strange thing about Lee Yong-dae is that, I mean, although he won that Olympic gold with Lee Hyo-jung in the mixed, it hasn't rubbed off on his performance on big occasions. He still seems to get quite tensed on the big occasion in men's doubles, whereas he can win 6 Super Series tournament in 1 year, but when it comes to Thomas Cup, when it comes to World Championship finals or the Olympics, it seems like he's a little shaky. And I was thinking that both Go and Tanner are targeting him at some occasion, and I don't think it's a good idea, unless it's on these big occasions where he sometimes perhaps feels that he's carrying Korea on his shoulders, and it's a tough task.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's got 3 World Championship silver medals.
Yeah, I played in one of the best finals I've ever seen in men's doubles against Fu Haifeng and Cha Yun in
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, yeah. 30-28, no, 28-26 or something like that. Don't tell me it's 29-27.
28-26, you're right.
28-26.
Having had 2 match points. Yeah, it's well worked. That's the sort of rally the Malaysians need, and that's the sort of rally that you were talking about earlier. And they're working for each other, setting each other up. Oh, goodness me. And that's the personality, isn't it? You know, he tries a trick shot between the legs.
Yeah.
Oh, and another one. Dear, oh dear. I should think the Malaysian Director of Performance, Morten Frost, is going greyer by the second. Oh, that's very mean of me, isn't it?
Yeah, but he actually commented in the Star, the Malaysian newspaper, that he felt they played too defensively in the All England semi-final.
Yeah, I read that too.
And I totally agree with him.
Yeah.
I don't think you can win titles at the moment playing defensively. You can lose titles by having no defense, but it's hard to win from below the tape.
Yeah. No, they're facing game points here. There's 7 of them for Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. No, that's drifted wide. 21-13 for last year's beaten finalists. World #1s Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. And having made the big efforts to get back within touching distance, then just seem to go off the boil a little, and you can't afford it against this pair. 16 minutes for that opening game.
Second game. Play.
So what can the Malaysians, Govi Shem and Tan Wee Kiong, do here in the second game against the world number ones? Oh, there's a between the legs shot. Got away with it this time. Oh my goodness, what a rally. Yeah, it's excellent.
1-love.
How did you always feel, Steen, when you saw a player do a trick shot between the legs? Did it frustrate you?
It depends on the situation. If it was the only possibility, I was delighted. But
Yeah.
if you could have managed with better skills, better discipline, then it would be a little bit frustrating, because it's for too many players, it's the 1 out of 5 shots, and the thing is that because it's so spectacular, you focus on the one time where you succeed instead of the other 4 times where you don't.
Yeah. I always feel that I agree with you, because I always sort of feel that it's got to be a desperation shot, and it rarely gets advantage.
Yeah.
2-1.
On court 2, men's doubles,
Well, I suppose if he wasn't that sort of extrovert character that wanted to hit winners all over the place, then he wouldn't be the player he is.
No, exactly. It's about finding the fine line where the individual skills work exactly well and the most for the pair.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a pair that works really well for each other, but don't have enough individual skills, they will never succeed. So you have to find the lines where they're crossing each other, where you can use your individual skills to the benefit of the pair. And they could really, they could really use a win here, Go and Tan, because they're still in some kind of competition with Ko, King Kit and Tan Bong Hyung, the number 2 Malaysian pair for the Olympic spot, and And yeah, that's fine. They were in the semi-final in the All England, but I must admit I can't really remember all their opponents, but I don't think they beat someone where you really had the wow. I mean,
No.
they did what they should. They beat Cohen Tan at the All England. So a victory against a pair that's expected to be in the medal race, that would really help them, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now, if we only take the Olympic qualification period, they're like 5,000 points ahead of Cohen Tan, and of course that's a nice lead, but it's not an totally unassailable gap for the very experienced Cohen Tan, who did beat Asan and Sechuan at the All England.
Service over. 5-4.
Oh, he's missed it. Crikey, seemed to climb a ladder there to hit that one down. He does have the most phenomenal smash. Look, and that only missed by a whisker. Pushed it long. You can't afford to give away easy points like that. Good rally. He's pushed it along as soon as they start lifting. And especially from that far side, you know.
Yeah.
Got to be keeping it flat over the net.
And there's still also much better in the position where Tan is at the net and Go is at the front. And I think the overall strength of the men's doubles right now is very much decided by the ability to function in the opposite roles of the preferred roles. How well do Lee Yong-dae play from the back court, and how well does Yu Yong-sung play from the front court? That's really important.
Yeah. It's an incredible lift. And good defense too. How did he lift that off the net cord? That's extraordinary. Yeah, got it deep. Six straight points from 4-all. It's a great serve. Yeah, to the mid-game interval with a 7-point advantage, having won 7 straight points. And I'm sure Kang Kyun-jin will be pretty happy about that, their coach. There he is. Just to elaborate a little bit more, Steen, on what you were saying there about, you know, obviously both these pairs have a favoured formation.
Yeah.
And you were saying that it depends on how the player plays out of their favoured formation.
Yeah.
Is it because you simply, all opponents now are simply too good and you just cannot stay in?
It is.
Yeah.
You can't stay in the defence.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, you can't stay in your preferred positions because they will be too good at shuffling you around the opponent. The defense is so good that it's impossible to keep Yo Young-sung on the backcourt all the time. Generally, you just serve short services to him and flick to Lee Young-dae. Then you have at least a situation that they have to sort of find an answer to, and the better you can, the longer you can work in the opposite position with high quality, the better the overall pair, I think.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting because I can remember the Indonesian Open a couple of years ago, and this world #1 pair that we've got now, the Koreans, were playing against the now world champions, Mohamed Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. Crikey O'Reilly. Look at that. That's extraordinary.
Beautiful flat game.
Well, their reactions there were just astonishing. Look at that. That's amazing.
There's no backswing whatsoever.
And
only
the vision.
racket. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, going back to that Indonesian Open, and I had Morten Frost sitting with me at the time, and I said it's going to be a battle between Lee Young-dae and Setiawan, Hendra Setiawan, at the front of the court. And he said, no, it's not, Jill. It depends on their partners, which of the partners play best, because they're both so good that it will depend which partner plays the better that day. And that's a similar sort of thing of what you've just described.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, that's why you're both coaches and I'm not.
Service over. 36.
That time the between the leg shot from Tam Wee Kyung.
46.
Well, I reckon there's been at least 4 attempted or played between the leg shots by the Malaysians. They haven't won one rally with it. They continued on a rally with one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But they didn't. They didn't win the rally.
No. But there's going to be cheering when they do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And it's going to be put on Facebook and Twitter and everything, so people can say, "Oh, that's a fantastic shot."
Yeah.
And it is. It is. It's just not efficient. And I mean, if someone is efficient, then it's the guys in blue on this court here. This man, Yo Young-sung. Almost a total miss there, Go Wisham. And I've seen on a couple of the other courts while we were on break, of course. I've seen some misses, really big misses And I think it's due to the windy conditions here. And
Yeah.
I came to think of golf players because there's a big golf tournament going on. Sometimes the greens are so fast and the playing conditions are so rough that the golfers, they play over par, and they get really angry because it sort of humiliates them in front of the television viewers that they make 5 or 6s where they should make 3 or 4s. And I don't know. Of course, there's many good shots, but there's way too many mishits here compared to what we normally see at this level in the Premier Super Series.
Time is running out for the Malaysians.
17-8.
Yeah.
Efficient play again.
Yeah. Well, from 4-all to 18-8.
Service over. 9-18.
Gasp of disappointment from the fans here.
19-9.
Yeah, there's a long way to go for go and 10.
Yeah.
Service over. 10-19. Service over.
So match points have arrived.
20. Match point 10.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, crikey, get up. There we go. Well, he just seemed to stumble, didn't he? And he fell back onto his posterior.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's even disappointed with himself. So still match point opportunities for the world number ones.
11-20.
Yep, this time 21-13, 21-11. And a very good performance by the Koreans. A little over 35 minutes. Final rally. Gentle sailing along of that back line. So confirmation. Match clock rounded up to 36 minutes in total. 21-13, 21-11. So that concludes second round action today from the Celcom Axiata Malaysia Open. It all started with mixed doubles, and great to see Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Natsir back to great form. Not if you're a German fan, of course. Then we had two men's singles, and started with Victor Axelsen, who was beaten finalist last week in Delhi, coming through in 2 straight games, just 28 minutes for that victory. Then Lee Chong-wei, the 10-time winner of this event, coming through after being behind in the opening game, but once he got going, he really was brilliant. 46 minutes for that one. Then Saina Nehwal was in great form, and Bae Young-ju just couldn't handle the windy conditions. 21-10, 21-16. Then we finish with the men's doubles and the world number ones, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sun. 36 minutes for 21-13, 21-11 against the Malaysian pair of Go Vi Shen and Tan Wee Kyung. So quarterfinals tomorrow, same time as today. That's 5 p.m. local time. So in the meantime, from Steen Pedersen, myself, Jill Clark, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.